Hey guys, it's Mary. So happy 2018. I am so excited for this year. This year I know is going to be full of very exciting opportunities, a lot of new opportunities, and I can't wait to be a part of them. So I know it's halfway through January, and this is the first time I've made a video in like 3 weeks or something, but I very much wanted to share my TBR. And this year I am not going to do monthly TBRs. I am going to do a TBR for the whole entire year. I feel like monthly TBRs just have me on this track that I have to read this book. And if I don't, if I decide to pick up another book, it just completely throws everything off, and I just don't like it. I want to read what I want to read when I want to read it. Which is exactly why books have been sitting on my shelves for years and years and years. And that is what we're going to be discussing today. We're going to be discussing the 5 books that I'm going to read this year that have been sitting on my shelves since somewhere between senior year of high school to middle to late of college, which is somewhere between what is that, 7 to 8 years, somewhere is the latest. So let's get started. So first of all is Delirium by Lauren Oliver. I have not read her Delirium series. It's basically, if you don't know what Delirium is by now, it's a pretty popular series. I've heard it gets a bad ending, but I just want to see that from my point of view. So Delirium is a post-apocalyptic world, like everything was back then when it was published, where love is forbidden, and they have made a vaccine for love. It's considered a disease. So the 2 main characters, obviously they fall in love, and they have to find a way to prevent this from happening. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. I watched half of the pilot, maybe a third, because remember that time, maybe you don't, but they had made a pilot a few years back of this, about maybe 2 years after the book had come out, and I think it was for CW. It was either CW or ABC, but it did not get picked up. It was done. Nobody wanted to do it. About maybe a year and a half, 2 years after that, they put it on Hulu for about 3 months, and it got very confusing because it was like, okay, so is this going to go to series or is this not? It did not go to series. Even Lauren Oliver said this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go to series if it does well. It did not go to series. I don't think many people watched it. I didn't hear a lot about people watched it. I couldn't even finish the first episode. So we're going to see how this goes. But I'm excited to read this. I have the first 2, and this has been sitting on my shelf for so long, and I've wanted to read this for so long. I just can't wait to pick this up. The next book is kind of a 2-in-1 air. And it would probably surprise a lot of you to find out that I have not read this book yet. Because it's been out for a while. And it is Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer. And you flip it, you get Twilight. It's the 10th anniversary edition. So Life and Death is basically just Twilight gender bent. It's Bella is the vampire with a different name, and Edward is the human, and it's probably the exact same copy of Twilight, except just different names. but I can't wait to read it. And then I'm going to read Twilight on the other. I'm going to read Life and Death, and then I'm going to read Twilight again. And this is going to be so exciting because I love Twilight. It's one of my favorite series, however crappy it may be or however much crap I may get for it. I love this. And when she announced that this was coming out, I just love turning this upside down and woo, having fun. Woo! I love how it's not like do and then like this is on this side. I like turning it upside down. But anyway, tangent over. This I'm so excited about reading. I love Twilight. I should have probably read it when it first came out, but there were so many books coming out too. I'm sorry, Stephanie Meyer. I love your books. The next book, I'm gonna just start this off by saying in no way are any of these books short. So I set my Goodreads goal at 75. I'm already about 1 or 2 books behind. So we're just going to say this right now. On my reading list, I'm not going to have a lot of books this year. I'm probably going to maybe have about 50. But anyway, the next book is Beautiful Creatures by Kami Garcia, Margaret Stoll. It is the first book in the Beautiful Creatures series. I have also heard not great things after the first book. I've been putting off watching the movie on Netflix. What made me want to pick this up was seeing the trailer in theaters when the movie was starting to get like trailers and you saw it beforehand. And which is why I picked up some of the books I did was because of trailers, movies coming out, so-and-so. So, Beautiful Creatures, I picked up. It has a beautiful cover. I can't wait to read it. I usually have unpopular opinions about books, so I pretty much think that if I like this book, I'm probably going to like the rest of the series. But anyway, this is about a girl who finds out her family is witches, and she finds out she's a witch, and she has to deal with this big, powerful creature that has threatened to take over the world. And I don't really know a lot about it, but which says a lot about me putting things on my shelf because I'll put them in, they'll look pretty, and then I don't touch them up again. But I can't wait to read this book, see what all the hubbub is about, and I am just going to read it as fast as I can when I can. The next book I've had for a long time, and it is another book that was one of the ones I picked up because it was becoming a movie. Because this movie starred Emma Roberts. And it was just after Nancy Drew or Fabulous. I grew up in the age of Nickelodeon where she was in Fabulous. This show about her as a songwriter, dealing with her friends and middle school and her crush on this guy. I think his name was Jake Bahari, which is really annoying that I remember that name, but I can't remember simple math equations. Anyway, this was just after she had finished those projects. She was just getting into more serious projects. And it was a few years before American Horror Story came along. So what really made me want to pick up this book was Emma Roberts because of the movie. But it's kind of a funny story by Ned Vizzini, and it's about this boy who all I really know about it is it's about a boy in a mental hospital after a suicide attempt. That's all I really know. And I like going into books not really knowing anything. The only thing I kind of maybe know is that there's a little bit of romance in that, and that's because of the trailer. Trailers can be misleading. The Love, Simon trailer number 2 just came out today. Love, Simon is a movie based off of the book Simon versus the Homo sapiens, and at first glance it looks nothing like the movie, nothing like the book, but it may also be misleading. So I can't wait to pick this book up. And then last book is also a book that I picked up because of a movie. Though I heard the movie was terrible, like even worse than Percy Jackson, which is, how is it worse than Percy Jackson? Like, let's be honest. But it's a book that a lot of people I know have read and have loved. And it's also one of those books that was made for children. So, like, I feel like these past 2-3 years have been making up for the childhood books I have not read. That people were reading when they were in like 4th and 5th grade. But it is Ragan by Christopher Paolini. If you look at my Goodreads, I started it last month. I'm on like page 16 apparently. That was the day my guitar teacher had a recital, which I wasn't in. But I picked up this book at the library because the concert was at the library. So I started reading it and I thought, hey, I'm gonna like read part of this and then finish it at home. And then I picked up Ready Player One and I was just like, okay, guess I'm reading 2 books at one time. And that never happened. I'm still stuck on page 16. So I'm going to reread it. I'm not going to see the movie because I heard it's terrible. But I can't wait to read the book. I love dragons. I absolutely love dragons. So I can't wait to read these books. I know it's part of a series. So this is going to be an interesting read. And it tells you, and it kind of tells you how long these books have been on my shelf by how like ruined they are. Like this has a little like dent in it, and this is like dirty. I swear I take great care of my books. It's just when they sit on your shelf for so long, you can understand. I also have animals too, so that doesn't work very well with books when they're climbing all over the shelves. So what books do you guys plan to read this year? What are your resolutions? Comment down below in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!